Namaskaram, my name is S. Ashok Kumar. Welcome to my channel. This part, I'm going to start aerobic cellular respiration. Okay, this is actually our topic. This aerobic cellular respiration include three metabolic pathways. Three metabolic pathways. Those include first Roman number 1 I am designating that is a glycolysis. Glycolysis. Once glycolysis is completed, second metabolic pathway start. That is a metabolic pathway 2. That is a Krebs cycle. Scientist name Krebs. Then third metabolic pathway is electron transport chain or electron transport system. Okay, this is the end one. So our topic is very simple. Included three metabolic pathway, that is a glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport chain. Now I am going to start explaining about the glycolysis. That is I am giving the Roman number 1. That is a glycolysis. What is the meaning of glycolysis actually? Gly means sugar. Lysis means what? Breakdown. That means glycolysis involves breakdown of sugar. This is actually meaning of the glycolysis. That means that glycolysis involves breakdown of glucose, breakdown of galactose, breakdown of fructose, anything, any monosaccharide you can take. Especially you have to take hexose sugars. But you can take. But what is the most common blood sugar? That is a glucose, because we are eating the starch. After starch digestion, that results the formation of glucose. That glucose enters into the blood. That through the blood, that glucose enters into the cells. That is why breakdown of glycolysis, exact meaning is a breakdown of sugar. Most common way of telling glycolysis is a breakdown of glucose. Why? Because glucose is the most common blood sugar. The next point is like this, glycolysis also called EMP pathway. EMP pathway. Why? Because three scientists discovered the intermediates of the glycolysis. Those include Embedon, M for Meyerhof, P for Parnas. Embedon, Meyerhof, Parnas pathway. These three scientists discovered the glycolysis, or they isolated the different intermediates of the glycolysis. Finally, they gave the metabolic pathway of the glycolysis. The next point is this glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm. Occurs in cytoplasm. That's why I said aerobic respiration occurs in both cytoplasm and mitochondria. Now glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. After that, this glycolysis is uniquely, it is a universal pathway. It is a universal pathway for providing energy. What is the meaning of this universal pathway? So organisms you can divide into anaerobic organisms and aerobic organisms. Here glycolysis irrespective of the organism. That means glycolysis occur in both anaerobic organisms and also aerobic organisms. That is why this glycolysis is a universal pathway occur in both anaerobic organisms and aerobic organisms. What is the motto of occurring the glycolysis? Glycolysis motto to provide energy to the corresponding organism or provide energy to the corresponding cell. That is why this is a universal metabolic pathway that is responsible for designed to provide the energy. The next point, brain. Brain entirely depends on energy from glycolysis. that what you need to understand, brain is entirely depends on energy from the glycolysis. That means you need to understand. That means if you take 100 grams of carbohydrate, that is a glucose like thing, 75% of the carbohydrate is entirely utilized by the brain only. That is why brain is entirely takes energy from only glycolysis. That means remaining substances cannot give energy to the brain. There is a specific reason. That is a brain-blood barrier. That brain-blood barrier will not allow the movement of any molecule except this glucose. That is a monosaccharides. That is why brain is entirely depends on energy from the glycolysis. That is why you should remember. So you have to take the growing children should take high amount of carbohydrate because carbohydrate gives energy to the brain. Now next I am going to show and explain the metabolic pathway of glycolysis. So what you are seeing on the board is a metabolic pathway of glycolysis. Okay. Here, before going to tell the conclusions from the glycolysis, first what I wrote on the board I will explain clearly. Come along with me. Here, glycolysis, I started with the substrate glucose. Why? Already I said the reason. Glucose is the most common blood sugar or most common hexose sugar. Instead of glucose, you can take fructose, you can take galactose, you can take mannose. But most common blood sugar is a glucose. So, here the first reaction involves, this glucose consists of 6 carbons. Okay? That glucose converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Okay? This reaction is mediating by hexokinase or glucokinase. The difference I will tell you. Here what is happening? Glucose converted into glucose 6-phosphate means in this reaction ATP is converting into ADP. So in this reaction there is involvement of ATP. Here what is happening in this adenosine triphosphate? There are 3 phosphates now in adenosine triphosphate. Between the beta and gamma phosphate there is a phosphoanhydride bond is there now. That bond is making into break. Okay na? To understand this one you have to see the previous videos. Okay. So in this reaction, first reaction, ATP low between the beta and gamma phosphate phosphoanhydride bond is breaking. Okay. How much energy is released out? 7.3 kilocalories. You remember that energy. After that, that gamma phosphate is transferring to the glucose. Transferring to the 6th carbon of glucose that converted to glucose 6-phosphate. So then once we remove the ATP, that one phosphate from the ATP, then the remaining portion is coming out as a adenosine diphosphate. Okay. Here, what is the role of this hexokinase or glucokinase? What I said. Here, kinase is a common. Kinase name deriving from the kinetics. Kinetics means what? Movement. That means this enzyme kinase cause movement of phosphate from ATP to glucose. Then glucose converted into glucose 6-phosphate. That is why whenever you get the kinase, you should remember kinase, enzyme responsible for transfer of phosphate. That you remember. Here the transfer of the phosphate from ATP to substrate, that is glucose, then converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Okay. Here what is the need of involvement of magnesium? I already explained the structure of ATP. How many number of phosphates there in the ATP? There are 3 phosphates now. That means the phosphate is actually negatively charged molecule. Yes or no? On each phosphate, phosphate means phosphoric acid H3PO4. But when it comes to the phosphate, PO4 3 minus. That means on each phosphate there is a maximum of 3 negative charge. Minimum of 1 negative charge, maximum of 3 negative charge. As a result of this one, what happened? Because ATP consists of 3 phosphate, consists of so much negative charge density on the ATP. That is such a negative charge density is there, repulsions become more in the ATP. Thereby ATP become too much unstable. In order to stabilize the ATP molecule physiological conditions of the cell, the negative charge on the ATP, that is a phosphate, get neutralized by the magnesium. That is why whenever in a reaction there is involvement of ATP, blindly you can put magnesium as a cofactor. That is a metal ion, because without magnesium ATPs are too much unstable. Okay, right? Now as a result of this one, glucose converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate also consists of 6 carbon. One more thing is that here the phosphate is moving from ATP to ADP. That okay, you understood. But the thing is that when the bond breaks, there is a release of 7.3 kilocalories energy. Na? Where that energy went? That energy useful for making this reaction is thermodynamically irreversible. That is why irreversible reaction, when you said delta G for the irreversible reaction should be negative. The released energy is making the reaction is irreversible. That is why that reaction, conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate is an irreversible reaction. Going forward, glucose 6-phosphate converted into fructose 6-phosphate. 6-phosphate common now. What is the difference between the glucose and fructose? Glucose is the aldohexose, fructose is the ketohexose. That means between the difference between the glucose and fructose, only functional group. That is why here the conversion is mediating by the isomerase. That is why phosphohexoisomerase enzyme. Okay, this is a reversible reaction. Next, fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Okay. Reaction is mediating by phosphofructokinase. Simply that is a PFK. That is a variant. So phosphofructokinase. Here also what is happening? This enzyme transferring the 1-phosphate from ATP to fructose 6-phosphate, then convert into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. What is the metal ion required here? Magnesium. I already said the reason. Because magnesium, without magnesium, ATP is too much unstable. That is why in a reaction ATP with magnesium only possibility to enter. Okay, you understood. Here also the excess energy released by breakdown of ATP that is useful for the making the reaction is completely irreversible. So this reaction mediating by the phosphofructokinase is the second irreversible reaction in the glycolysis. Here what is it? Here I wrote fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Instead of diphosphate, why I call it bisphosphate? There is a small difference between the diphosphate and bisphosphate. What I am meaning is that if the two groups attaches to the same carbon of the molecule, if the two groups, for example, you take the phosphate, if the two phosphates attaches to the same carbon of the molecule, you have to call it as a di. Okay, for example, in this case, 2 phosphates attaches to the 6th carbon only you can call fructose 6,6-diphosphate. For example, 2 phosphate groups are attached to the 2 different carbons in the molecule, then only you have to call it as a bis. That is why here phosphates are 1 phosphate attaches to the 1st carbon, 2nd phosphate attaches to the 6th carbon. That is why we are using the bis. So fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. How many carbon? 6 carbon. No change in the. So glucose 6, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate also 6 carbon. You should remember the number of carbons here. The next one, fructose bisphosphate is exactly cleaved into one molecule of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone. Up to there you remember. Dihydroxyacetone consists of 3 carbons. Glyceraldehyde, this you two don't see now. Glyceraldehyde also consists of 3 carbons. So DHA consists of 3 carbon. Glyceraldehyde consists of 3 carbon. So 3 how many? 6 carbon. No change. Overall there is no change in the number of carbons now. Plus this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate carbon already countable. There is 2 phosphate. 1 phosphate is giving to the DHA. Then it converted into DHAP. 1 phosphate is giving to the glyceraldehyde. So glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Now equally cleaved, that reaction is mediating by enzyme aldolase. Now after, as a result of the aldolase reaction, you have to understand one molecule of DHAP is formed and one molecule of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is formed. Okay. Then after that, Here one molecule of DHAP already formed, right? This DHAP is also converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Mediating by the, so DHAP is a keto sugar, glyceraldehyde is a aldehyde. That means keto group is converted into aldehyde group na. So definitely enzyme is isomerase na. So enzyme triose phosphate isomerase. As a result of the reaction of triose phosphate isomerase, DHAP molecule is also converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Upon now already one glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate form. This is also converted into, this means after triose phosphate isomerase, how many glyceraldehyde phosphate are there? 2. That is why after triose phosphate isomerase, DHAP also converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Results, there is a formation of 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. That is why after this reaction, you have to see all are in the 2 molecules. Okay. Now, 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate convert into 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, here also see I use the bis instead of di. Why? Because phosphate 2-phosphate attaches to 2 different carbon. That is why we have to use the bis. Okay, here what happened? This reaction is mediating by enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. What is the meaning of dehydrogenase? Removing of hydrogen. Actually, what it is doing, this enzyme dehydrogenase. For example, you take this is the one molecule, this is the one molecule. Then you can understand. This enzyme removing the glyceraldehyde phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme, removing the 2 hydrogens from the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. 2 hydrogen per one molecule. Though 2 hydrogen giving to 1 NAD. Then when the NAD took that 2 hydrogen, it converted into NADH2 na. Yes sir. For example, if you take the 2 molecules, total how many molecules of hydrogen coming out? 4 hydrogens na. If 4 hydrogens are giving to the 2 NAD, then 2 NAD converted into 2 NADH2. That means what? Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate undergo oxidation, simultaneously NAD undergo reduction. So first oxidation reaction in the aerobic respiration is conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate mediating by glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Okay na? First oxidation. Then 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate convert into 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. Here what you understood? Here there are in this molecule there are 2 phosphates there, but when it converted into become a product, it become only 1 phosphate na. So per molecule 1 phosphate is missing na. That phosphate is transferring to the ADP. Then ADP convert into ATP, right? So here what is happening? Transfer of phosphate. Transfer of phosphate means immediately which enzyme you have to get? That is a kinase. That is the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. Here if you take 2 molecules here, 2 molecules, how many phosphates are missing? 2 phosphates. 2 phosphates giving to 2 ADP convert into 2 ATP. Here what you need to understand, in this reaction, there is a direct synthesis of ATP, right? That is why this reaction is an example of substrate level phosphorylation. First substrate level phosphorylation in aerobic cellular respiration, conversion of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate into 3-phosphoglycerate. First oxidation already I said, right? Then 3-phosphoglycerate converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. If you clearly listen, here phosphate attaches to the 3rd position of the glycerate, that is changes to the 2nd position of the glycerate. Means intramolecular change. Change is called as a mutation. That is why enzyme name is a mutase. Phosphoglycerate mutase. Then 2-phosphoglycerate converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. This famously called as a PEP. Phosphoenol pyruvate. Here the reaction is mediating by the enolase. Why enolase? In this reaction, there is a result the formation of double bond in the product. Double bond means what? Ene. Single bond means ene. Double bond means ene. Triple bond means ine. Here this enzyme results the formation of a product. That product results That product consists of double bond. That is why there is enol, alcohol, enolase. In this reaction, there is a release of water molecule, because when the when the double bond is formed, OH and H releases in the form of water. Next, phosphoenol pyruvate, 2 molecules of PEP convert into 2 molecules of pyruvate. This reaction here, pyruvate is forming, but the phosphate is missing now. Then the phosphate is giving to ADP, ADP convert into ATP. If you take the 2 molecules here, there is a missing of 2 phosphate now. 2 phosphates are missing, the 2 phosphates giving to the 2 ADP results the formation of 2 ATP. Here there is a transfer of phosphate now. That definitely enzyme is a kinase. Now the enzyme is a pyruvate kinase. This reaction, already I said, in a reaction there is a direct synthesis of ATP is a SLP, substrate level phosphorus. So this conversion, phosphoenol pyruvate to the pyruvate, is a second example of substrate level phosphorylation. Here, each pyruvate consists of 3 carbons. So 2 pyruvate molecules formed. So total how many carbons? 6 carbons. So here glucose, the starting substrate, how many carbons? 6 carbons now. So this is the overall metabolic pathway, that is a glycolysis. Here, what are the conclusions we need to understand? First conclusion I am telling here. Glucose consists of 6 carbons. Yes or no? 2 pyruvate consists of, each pyruvate consists of 3 carbons. So 2 pyruvate consists of 6 carbons. Now I am asking you, is there any decarboxylation? Is there any decarboxylation and removing of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide? Is there any decarboxylation during the glycolysis? Absolutely no. Because number of starting glucose consists of 6 carbon. Pyruvate as a result, 2 pyruvates consist of 6 carbon. So first conclusion you need to write on your page is, there is no decarboxylation step during the glycolysis. First conclusion. Second conclusion, I wrote glucose to pyruvate. Here, even though it is a aerobic cellular respiration, what I am telling, is there any involvement of oxygen? No. That means in glycolysis, there is no involvement of oxygen. That means what? That is why I said, glycolysis is a universal metabolic pathway, occurs both anaerobic and aerobic condition, responsible for giving the energy. Why it is occurring both aerobic and anaerobic condition? Because this metabolic pathway is actually designed occur without direct involvement of oxygen. The last conclusion, the next conclusion you need to understand is, now go for the energy. Here, for example, you take a 2NADH2 here. These 2NADH2, for example, once NADH2 produced, usually under aerobic condition, this NADH2 involved in electron transport chain gives us 3 ATPs. 2NADPH2 produce means 2NADH2 undergo electron transfer, results how many ATPs? 6 ATPs now. Under aerobic condition, you should remember. Plus, this is a 2NADH2 gives us 6 ATPs, plus 2 SLPS are there now. Here 2 ATPs, here 2 ATPs. Total, now I am telling, total number of ATPs, total number of ATPs produced during the glycolysis is equals to 10. Comes to the net. Net means what? So, what is a gain? Here, in the initial step, there is investment of 2 ATP. Na? That means total 10, the net amount 10 minus 2, how many? 8. That is why the number of ATPs get by cell because of the glycolysis is about 8 ATPs. Among these 8 ATPs, you should remember 6 ATPs. Out of 8 ATPs, 6 ATPs deriving from the 2NADH2 if they undergo electron transport chain under aerobic condition. Okay? This is the overall points you need to understand about the metabolic pathway of glycolysis. If you understand this concept well, like this video and share to your friends, subscribe our channel. If you have any doubts about this concept, please comment below. Definitely I will respond to your questions. Thank you.